Hello, thanks for joining me tonight. We are going to do a little Christmas story, but first I'd like to thank everybody that came to our get-together last week. You all know who you are, and thank you to the Kennys for having us over last night. Now, I wrote a little Christmas story for the kids, but people know, especially some old friends know my writing, so I had to do a little disclaimer, so let's just get that done and over with now. First and foremost, I want to apologize to anybody who gets offended by this, such as I apologize to Ford owners, not really because the mistake is circled on the grill. I apologize to all redheads, but to you know who you are. Don't be an idiot and try anything in this story at home. If you do, you're an idiot. Merry Christmas. And we lost our bow and lost our other stuff off my hat. Oh well, it was on there long enough. My little story is a good little story. It don't start out like most of them, but it is called The Three Wise Men That Saved Christmas. Alrighty. It was a week before Christmas. The North Pole busier than ever. Not knowing that evil would come upon everybody there. Christmas music blasting through the speakers, elves singing and building toys and dancing and having a good time. Old Santa eating cookies and drinking milk and who knows what else to get fattened up for his suit to stay warm for the big night. He makes regular checks on the progress of the toys, always checking the naughty and nice list. Well, one day the singing and music stopped. This worried Santa, so he ran to the workshop. All the elves were gone. Oh no. The workshop shut down. Uh-oh. He felt the need to check the stables, so he ran out. All the reindeer was gone. Oh crap. The stables was empty. Then he heard a noise from the hayloft. And no, it wasn't nothing naughty. He went up and looked and yelled, "Hello!" Grouchy the elf popped out of hiding. He takes care of the reindeer. Santa asked, "What happened? Where is all the elves and reindeer?" "The Red Princess Stefina took all the elves and reindeer," said Grouchy. Santa got really upset. He said, "What do I do?" Grouchy called the three wise men. Santa said, "Good idea, but what about the toys? All the well-to-do kids are done, but we still have all the other kids to do. We won't have time." Grouchy said, "Call the three wise men." So Santa just did that. Meanwhile, no one had known the Red Princess had planted a listening device. She hears this and called upon the only person wishing to help her. She said, "Catch a ride with the wise man, little Bob. He has a 67 Mustang. You will have fun. You must slow them down." Little Bob, not thinking, picks him up. Little Joe gets in his Firebird. He got there super fast. Little John got there next in his 69 Dodge Charger. Meanwhile, the Red Princess was taking a nap. With no one to guard the elves, they made a break for it. Now back to Santa. Santa asked the three wise men, how will the other kids get their how will the other kids get their toys? Little John said, contact the helper Santas. Tell them to go to local businesses and pick up the toys from Toys for Tots. So, little Bob was confused because his passenger could not stay quiet. Santa said, good idea, but before I do, I have a question. Aren't there only supposed to be 3 of you? The 3 wise men said, yes. The stranger started to run. He didn't get very far because Santa used his powers and trapped him in a candy cane jail cell. To get the elves, Little John, take my magic train. While Little John is picking up the elves, Santa said, how do we get the toys to the children? The wise men replied, let's put a motor in your sleigh. Santa said, let's try it. But what motor? Little Bob first to yell a Ford. Little Joe said, never work. But Santa said, let's try it. They put a modified 351 with nitrous in the sleigh. Loaded the sleigh up. Santa started to give it throttle. Maybe moved about 2 feet, then bang! Little Joe said, told ya, it blew up. Santa said, oh my, what do we do now? Little Joe said, Pontiac 455 with a 250 shot of nitrous. While they're building that, let's go back to the Red Princess, which just woke up. She went to check on the elves, and to her surprise, they were gone. This angered her. Her hair turned to fire, and she was off to the North Pole. While she's on her way there, Little Joe, Grouchy the Elf, and Santa just got done the second motor. Santa said, let's try it. Ho, ho, ho. He started it up, gave it full throttle. It was fast. It tried to take off, but wouldn't take full flight. Just too much weight. And Santa said, we can't unload the gifts. With 1 day left, Santa said, we've got no time. Little John shows up with the elves, which brought everyone lots of joy. Santa asked, what about the reindeer? Just as the head elf Paul went to answer, the Red Princess appeared. Santa, with his might, tied her up in Christmas tinsel. Santa said, I have one question. Why? The Red Princess replied, no one deserves presents but me. Santa said to the Red Princess in Flinton, her one and only friend, you already have more than you most. So therefore, for your greed, your punishment is cleaning the reindeer stalls during the morning and the rest of the day working in the coal mines for the next 50 years. Santa said, what about the reindeer? Head elf Paul said, with the Red Princess mother, the Red Queen. Santa said, oh no. Santa said, first, the sled. Little Joe said, I know, a Chevy small block with 250 shot nitrous. That'll do it. Let me make a call. Little Joe called a guy named Big Randy. Said, I need you. And they built 350. Santa sent the elves to get him and the motor. So they did. Meanwhile, Santa said, once the sled is in the air, you and Little Joe must face off against the Red Queen and save the reindeer. She carries a book that has all her power. Destroy that and you will be good. The elves returned with Big Randy and a small block Chevy. Ha ha ha, nice. Santa, Randy, and Little Joe got to work. Put the motor in the sled. They built a small block Chevy with 250-shot nitrous. It is now Christmas Eve. There is no time to test, said Santa. Little Joe, take this magic juice.